Coming up on this episode of the Tall King Podcast.
Fat skeleton Arnie. Bad Arnie. Bad fat skeleton Arnie.
Yeah, it's crazy how Linda Hamilton's training regimen for T2 was just tap water and sour cream and onion Pringles.
This is our first episode that we've done with video. We did a really good job, man.
Yeah, man. What are there? Backstreet's boy, all right. Ba-doo.
Backstreet's back.
Yeah.
If you had to choose between fighting 5 goose-sized Terminators or 100 Terminator-sized geese, what would you choose?
Well, there's different sized Terminators, right?
So just an Arnie-sized
An Arnie-sized geese. Oh,
big old geese, 100 of them.
I mean, I'd probably do that and then just stay inside.
They could get inside. You think a goose can't break? If a goose is that big, you think it can't break through a window?
Yeah,
they're coming to kill you. These aren't passive geese. They know who you are,
right?
And they're coming to kill you.
But what if I get on a plane?
They can fly. Geese can fly.
Right, but I'm like in the plane
all the time,
forever.
You got to stop for gas sometime.
No. I mean, I don't have to be in the air. I'm just in the plane.
Like I said, they can get in. The plane of a door is going to open eventually. Someone's got, even if you stay inside, someone's got to come in and bring you food.
No.
Yeah.
There's a room service.
Yeah, how did they get in the plane?
Or first class treatment, right?
Right, yeah. How did they get in the plane?
I mean, I just lock them in there with me.
Right. What about when you run out of food?
You get it airdropped.
How does it get in the plane?
I have, you ever been in a school bus? They got the little, hatch at the top. Just, open that up.
Those aren't in planes.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Yeah. I don't know what planes you're looking at, man. I'm going to be good. I will have to say, this stash really makes me want to sneeze.
Does it?
I want to sneeze.
Your real mustache makes you want to sneeze? That's weird. You're not used to it yet?
Yeah, no.
I mean, you've been growing it out for a long time.
It's still a little itchy, but,
Interesting.
It's all part of puberty, I suppose.
Yeah, this is a natural part of puberty, everyone.
I don't know if you could tell, but we're going to be talking about Terminator.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Tall King Podcast. I'm Cody. This is Kevin.
Hello.
And we're just talking.
That's it.
You like that?
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's our new tagline, I think. We're just talking.
Yeah, we're just talking. Oof. Yeah.
We're talking, but we're talking. Today we're talking about the Terminator. Specifically, we're going to be ranking Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, Terminator Salvation, and Terminator Genysis. They stopped the number system after 3.
Yeah.
They're just like,
I wonder,
yeah.
Why? The numbers are nice.
I kind of like numbered movies. They don't really do it anymore.
Yeah, it's just, which one's which in the series. It's easy. We don't got to try and decode it.
I think of the Marvel movies, the only ones that are numbered are the Iron Man movies. I think every single other movie just has a subtitle.
Oh. Yeah, you might be right.
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Weird. Because, that new Doctor Strange movie doesn't have a number. Ant-Man didn't have a number.
Right, the second one was just called Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah. Huh.
I kind of miss numbered movies. Let's bring them back.
Do it.
Okay. We're going to be ranking those. We're going to have a fun little quiz later. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be testing Kevin's Terminator knowledge. And we're going to be discussing the good Terminator films, Terminator 1 and 2. First off, though, we're going to be ranking 3, 4, and 5. Kevin, how would you rank? I mean, they call Terminator Rise of the Machines, Salvation, and Genysis the holy trinity of Terminator films. How would you rank them?
How would I rank them? All right, I'm just going I'm just listing these movies without any kind of explanation. Is that the deal? I'm just
you list them. I'll list mine, and then we can fight over it.
We can squabble.
Yeah.
All right. So At number 3 of 3, we're working our way up.
Working our way up. Okay.
I'm gonna have to go Salvation.
This is the best one. Is that what you're saying, or the worst?
No, the worst.
This is the worst one. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Oh. Whoa, wait. No.
Which way are you ranking this? Is it?
It's gonna be Salvation, Genesis, and 3.
I still don't know which way you ranked it.
Bottom up.
Bottom up. So you think Terminator 3 is the best one out of all three of them?
I do.
See, okay, this is going to be good because I think my list is literally the inverse of yours. I would say Salvation is the best one. And then I almost think the Terminator 3 and Genesis are interchangeable. They're both really bad for different reasons. I think, though, what did you say? You said 3 was the best?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
And like,
I think I would put Genesis above 3, but it's like, it's very close. I think they're almost interchangeable.
Yeah,
because they're both really bad. So yeah, my list from worst to best is Genesis, Salvation, 3 Rise of the Machines. I think that's the wait. I think I just bookended it with Terminator 3.
Yeah.
My list from worst to best. Terminator. Wait, what? Is that how you did it? You did it from worst to best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My list from worst to best. I'm just going to cut all that out. It's fine. My list from worst to best. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Terminator Genesis. Terminator Salvation. I think Salvation's the best.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's the worst?
So, there's a lot of things I appreciate about it, like the fact that it's taking a different direction than the other movies.
It's the only one that's set in the future,
right?
In the apocalyptic future.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. I don't know. Being PG-13 hurt it. I did watch the director's cut of it, but I mean that added like nothing.
We watched that together for the first time, right?
Yeah.
The R-rated director's cut. Yeah, we joked beforehand that it was just going to be tits is the only addition, and that was literally the only addition.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that made it rated R. It was a joke.
John Connor wasn't as much of the focus in it.
Right. It was about this new character.
Yeah. And man, I feel the more I talk about it, the more I'm convincing myself that I like it more than Genesis.
You haven't said much. What do you think about it? Terminator 3 is a rehash of 2.
I'm convoluted.
Terminator Genesis is a partial remake of 1 mixed in with new stuff. And then Salvation is a continuation of the story.
Oh, man. Okay. I might have... Oh, my gosh. The more I'm talking, the more I'm convincing myself that Terminator Salvation needs to be up a little more. But, you know... Let's keep it at the bottom for devil's advocate's sake, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you know, it is the worst. I don't know. I feel that they were trying to go a different direction with it initially, and then they kind of wanted it to be a lot more dark. So there's kind of a convoluted tone in it.
Yeah, that probably has the least comedy out of all of them, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. You're right.
And 3 is definitely a lot more like comedic.
Yeah, arguably the most comedic. It's between that and Genesis.
It's really comedic.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't mind it as much.
In 2?
In 3.
Oh, in 3. Yeah, well, like, it's kind of more. It's in a lot of ways it's jiving off of 2. Even with the comedy, it's taking that kind of comedic tone from 2 and just doing more of it.
Right. Very different direction than the first 2 movies, but I don't know, for some reason I don't mind it.
3?
Yeah. But
I would say it's the exact same direction as the first 2 movies. It's literally
No, I mean the tone.
the tone. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty tonally similar to 2. It's just upping the comedy a lot.
Right.
Do you like the so you don't like the main character at all in Salvation? Is that's your main thing?
I don't know. I felt it was
Because I don't like him either. I think he's really dull and
yeah,
boring. Yeah.
right. He's kind of flat for me.
He's super flat, yeah. The only
And
interesting parts are when he's interacting with Kyle Reese as a kid or John
right.
Connor.
Yeah, I liked Kyle Reese in that movie. I felt he added humanity in it.
He had very white teeth.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah, there's
post-apocalyptic, and he somehow has the best toothpaste out
it's
of everybody.
baking soda,
Yeah,
you know.
that always bugged me. He has the whitest teeth of anyone I've ever seen.
I haven't noticed that.
It's so weird. Go look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Salvation for me, I said that was my favorite one of the 3. I don't think it's a good movie, but I think it's watchable. I think there are some really cool callbacks uh to the other movies without it being too in your face. Like there's that scene where the main character, I don't even know his name, honestly. He's the guy from Avatar. Avatar Boy shows Kyle Reese how to he like knocks the end of a shotgun off and then ties a rope around it and shows how he can kind of conceal that easier. And we see Kyle do that in Terminator 1, and it's like, okay, that's cool. It's a small thing. It's not super in your face reference because I don't think a lot of people remember that even, but
Yeah.
it's something. Obviously having Arnie at the end is pretty cool. That little it's just enough, right? We get just enough actual Terminator stuff in this movie without it being just a constant chase movie of there's one Terminator chasing you throughout the whole movie trying to kill you. Because that's what all the other Terminator movies are. This one, it's more just like we're in this world that is hostile and we're just trying to survive. And I appreciate that. Like you said, I appreciate it for being different. Some of the Terminator designs are pretty cool in it too. We see like this is another thing that's cool that they reference in the first Terminator, how the Terminators started using rubber masks at first because they couldn't fully imitate humans yet. And we see
Right.
that in the movie. I think they're blown apart, but we can see like the remnants of it. So it's still there. Again, just a cool reference without it being super in your face, The thing that movie does really poorly is the overall story is not very good. It's like it's a cool world. I'm glad we got to see it, and I'm glad it's different. But the story itself is like it's just this tale of this guy who is part Terminator and he ends up sacrificing himself at the end to save John Connor.
Right.
They're screwing up the Jesus allegory from the first movies because in those John Connor is very much the Jesus figure. He's the one that saves humanity, and then in this one, man, in this one they just muck it all up by having him die for John Connor's sins. They also just shove the religious symbolism in that movie so hard.
Oh, yeah.
In the other movies, it's kind of in the background. It's very much there. You're aware of it, but it's not in your face. In Salvation, the movie starts off with our main character getting crucified on a cross. Not crucified, but he's getting killed on a cross. They inject him with the stuff. It's like,
right. Yeah, he had
can
that
you
T pose.
just shoving it in your freaking face? I hate it. I hate that so much. But yeah, it's a kind of fun action movie. At the end of the day, that's how I see it. Terminator 3 is just a boring. I don't have much to say about it, honestly. Terminator 3 to me is just a boring, worse rehash.
It is a rehash
of Terminator 2. They don't develop the relationship between John and the Terminator at all. That is completely dropped. It's crazy because that was so good in Terminator 2. We'll get to that about the father relationship that is kind of developed with him and John. Terminator 3, they don't even try to reestablish that or anything. It's just nothing. They have no connection.
He's talking more with Kate, right?
Right. They're developing a relationship, but I feel like they didn't have any chemistry. She's his future wife.
Right, and
Yeah.
she sends back the Terminator. Right?
I think she sends back the Terminator. The Terminator answers to her commands, and the TX is trying to kill her, not John.
Yeah, I like all the supporting ideas behind it, so I can kind of forgive. I mean, not really, but especially after watching the first 2 movies, like these pale in comparison so hard.
So hard.
I don't know. 3 had quite a bit of action in it, which I liked. There were some good scenes in there. Really bad CG in parts, especially that like flip of the
The
truck
truck,
in
yeah.
3. Yeah.
Well, which action scenes did you like in it?
Yeah, that whole I really liked
The truck chase
the
thing, yeah.
truck
No,
chase
that
thing.
was really good.
And then yeah, the was it the crypt scene, right? Or the graveyard.
Graveyard scene, yep, that was cool. Seeing Arnie carry that, yeah, that was good. Didn't like the final one as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's things to like in these movies, even though they are bad. There are like good little snippets here and there. Terminator 3 introduced the idea that Judgment Day is inevitable.
Yes. Which I mean,
It's kind of stupid.
yeah.
I think it's a little bit stupid.
Yeah, the thing about these movies too is like I feel the timeline is pretty messed up right now.
Yeah, I would say
So
so.
I don't really even know what's true anymore. I mean, is there anything that's really true? Is
There's
there
nothing
any?
that's true. It's just parallel universes on parallel universes, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. With Terminator Genesis, so where did you put that? You put that in the middle, huh? You
Hmm.
thought that was not the worst, not the best. I the th- I put it in the middle as well, and I put it there. I said it was almost interchangeable with 3. 3's biggest offense is just that it's like it does not need to exist. It is a boring rehash. Genesis, the first 30 minutes of that movie are awesome. It's really good. If you only watch the
Right.
first hour of that or half hour of that movie, you're really gonna enjoy yourself. I think it's all that. Most of it's set in the future. You get to see the final confrontation between Skynet and the Resistance, and then we get to see John Connor put back through time as well as the Terminator. That also includes that whole fight with young Arnie and old Arnie. We get to see the T-800 and the T-1000 fight together against Arnie. There's some really cool stuff in that first half hour.
Yeah.
And then after that, once they actually start getting into the meat of the movie, right? This story about a T1 era Sarah Connor who is already a badass, who's already been preparing for this whole thing her whole life. Amelia Clark is just so miscast. The dialogue in the story is bad to her credit, but she is awful as Sarah Connor. I don't see it at all.
Right.
She comes off as whiny and annoying, honestly. And what's his name is Jai Courtney as Kyle Reese. Terrible.
It doesn't feel like it.
He looks nothing like Michael Biehn 1, but also he. We just watched Terminator 1, and Kyle in that movie is super. He is just kind of freaked out, right? Because he has PTSD. He's trying to deal with this situation. He knows that if Sarah dies, then that's the end of the future. He is like just he's really on edge the whole movie. And then Jai Courtney is that character. You don't get that at all, in my opinion. He's very
Jai Courtney.
he's very Jai Courtney, but he's like it's just a boring interpretation of the character.
Yeah. I'll have to agree with that first the first part of that movie is really good.
Hmm.
The the callbacks are there, not especially that beginning, but they alter it a little bit, right? Because it's PG-13.
It is fan service for sure. Like it is huge fan service, but it's fun. If you're a Terminator fan, I think it's like this is fun to see. You know,
Yeah.
I hate the whole they kind of hate each other because they know they're supposed to be destined to fall in love and have John as their kid, but that makes them not want to like each other and all this stuff, and it's so annoying. Um, Having John as the Terminator is an interesting twist, but they don't really go anywhere interesting with it.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, that's such an interesting idea.
and his version of the Terminator, what even is it? He's kind of like the T-1000, but he's all. mm, I,
So like it's almost like a um Star Trek Discovery where you get injected with a bunch of I believe like you get injected with a bunch of this crap and it converts your body into a bunch of like nanobots.
That was in Discovery?
Well, I mean the way that they can just inject
Yeah,
a bunch
yeah.
of crap in a human, and then all of a
Right.
sudden they're converted.
Okay, I don't remember that from Discovery for some reason.
Well, yeah, the AI injects itself into the one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
something like that.
vague recollection. Yeah, I don't know. That movie is just so garbage to me. The rest of that movie is just annoying acting, poor story, poor introduction of characters. J.K. Simmons plays a young cop who investigated the scene at the beginning of the first Terminator, and then we see him as an old man later as J.K. Simmons, and that he like helps them out, but it's not interesting. You almost forget about his character by the end of it. And then it sequel baits at the end. We have Arnie get cut in half. He falls into some liquid metal, and that somehow fixes him, and now he's part T-1000. I guess it's stupid. They tried to make it into a Marvel movie, I think is what it was. Yeah. Everyone's trying to make an ongoing story out of their movies now.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a domino effect, right? You tease other movies from that one movie, and then you want to go watch the other movies.
Right. It's a domino effect, except for these people are only setting up the one domino, and then they're flicking it before they set any of the other ones up.
Like Mummy.
Yes, exactly like the Mummy. Yeah.
How about start with a good story, and then a creative vision, and then stick with it. Yeah, I was disappointed that Genesis wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Like having an old Arnie and having a new relationship with Sarah. It's kind of an interesting idea, but they do nothing.
It's an interesting concept that he went back earlier than Terminator 1 and saved her from a Terminator then, and then kind of grew up with her. It's an interesting concept. It was just poorly written.
Right.
That's the biggest problem with it.
Their dynamic should have been a lot better in the movie if they've really been together all this time.
She calls him Pops in it.
Yeah, no, that didn't make me believe
no
that they were together for a long time.
Also, she's trying to get him to. This is a comedic beat in the movie. She keeps trying to teach him how to smile, and he does a big goofy grin in it. But as we saw in Terminator 2, the Terminator does know how to smile because he smiles when he picks up the minigun.
Right.
He looks at John and he gives him a.
Yeah, he's like, fits you, right? Huh, yeah. I don't know what these movies are. But I'm going to watch that new one.
Yeah, that'll be good, right? It's not like we've had 3 terrible Terminator films in a row.
Yeah, thank goodness. This will be a good one.
Yeah. I'm excited. I bought my tickets.
Yes.
You know what does make me excited?
I can think of a couple things. Confetti.
Yeah, that's it. Terminator Quiz Show!
Yeah, trivia is always fun. The kids like that. Tests and quizzes.
What kids?
That's my.
What kids do you know that like that?
That's my favorite part of school.
I don't like this. This is the official Terminator Quiz Show, everyone. You can play along at home. Guess what answers you think are correct? Send them in the comments. Whoever wins, I'll give them a big hug. There are 5 questions, I believe. Wow, I screwed up the numbering on these. I think there's 5 questions. If you get 3 out of the 5 questions correct, you're going to win.
All right. I see how this works.
All right. Question number 1. Terminator Genysis is the only Terminator film where Arnold Schwarzenegger is not credited as the Terminator. He is instead credited as A. Pops, B. Guardian, C. the T-800, or D. an old man.
Huh. Run that back one more time.
A. Pops, B. Guardian, C. T-800, or D. an old man.
I'm gonna go with B at Guardian.
Oh, very good. Did you know that?
No.
Wow, that would have been the last one that I would have guessed. Outside of D, of course.
Pops was too
obvious.
Too obvious for some reason.
Guardian's just weird because I don't think they reference him as that at all in the film. It's the only film where he's called that. I thought that was really weird.
Yeah, Guardian Angel.
Yeah, I guess. Is that what they're getting at? Probably.
Yeah.
You're right. Jesus.
Jesus.
Question number 2. In Terminator Salvation, an actor favored by Tim Burton makes an appearance in Terminator Salvation. I should have reread that before I...
Say that again.
An actor known in Terminator Salvation, an actor known for being in Tim Burton movies.
My screensaver is going great.
I'm going to try this one more time.
Yes, please do.
In Terminator Salvation, an actor known for their many appearances in Tim Burton movies plays the doctor at the beginning that convinces the main character, Marcus Wright, that's his name, Marcus Wright, to give his body to Cyberdyne following his sentencing on death row. So this is an actor who is in a lot of Tim Burton movies. They play the doctor at the beginning in Terminator Salvation. Okay. Is this actor A, Helena Bonham Carter, B, Johnny Depp, C, Ava Green, or D, Danny DeVito?
Wow. What?
Doesn't sound like any of these characters are in this movie, does it?
Doesn't. Wow. Wait, read those back again?
I was shocked when I learned this person was in it. A, Helena Bonham Carter. B, Johnny Depp. C, Ava Green, or D, Danny DeVito? Remember Danny DeVito at the beginning of that movie?
Wow. I'm gonna go with C, Ava Green.
Oh, very good. It is A, Helena Bonham Carter.
Dang it.
Isn't that interesting? I had no idea she was in that movie, and then I looked it up, and yep, she's the doctor.
That's crazy.
It's weird, yeah. Ava Green was also, though I know why you picked her, because she was in a movie called Salvation, but it was not Terminator Salvation. So I understand you getting confused on that.
Right. That's my favorite movie that I watched.
Who's is in it? Who's, Salvation. That's Ava Green. Good stuff. Question number 3. There is a location that is in all 3 of the Terminator trilogy. So this is Terminator 1, 2, and 3. Is that location A, the gas station, B, the mall, C, the hospital, or D, the 7-Eleven?
Ooh. 3 movies. One more time.
A, the gas station, B, the mall, C, the hospital, or D, a 7-Eleven?
Ah, man. Which ones were in all 3? Ah, man, I want to say a gas station.
Could be.
'Cause I'm sure they have a few of those. Hospital sounds like something, though. Watch, it's gonna be neither of these. You know, I'm gonna pick a gas station.
You are correct. Good job.
Am I?
Yes, you are correct.
Good. Whew.
7-Eleven was in Terminator Salvation, though. It was also in the video game adaptation. Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Question number 4. Terminator 2 had the best opening weekend for an R-rated film of all time until it was dethroned by A, The Matrix, B, The Matrix Reloaded, C, The Matrix Revolutions, or D, Terminator 3. You know what I'm saying? Terminator 3, like this.
You trying to juke me? Ah, man. Man, 3 of the Matrix movies. That's the majority of my options. Oh man, I want to say the Matrix, but then I feel 2 might have made more money, or even 3, but that doesn't fully line up with what I want to believe, you know. So I guess I'll have to go with the Matrix. Yeah, I'm wrong, but the Matrix.
I don't know if you're gonna say a subtitle or not.
Me neither. Man. Yeah, I'll say the Matrix.
The Matrix. Okay, I don't remember. I didn't write the answer down. I don't remember which one it is.
Okay.
I'm having to look it up.
All right, so I think the movie is not Terminator. The movie that dethroned, the R-rated movie that dethroned Terminator 2 is going to be The Matrix 2.
The Matrix Reloaded. Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
You are correct. Good job. Matrix Reloaded was the first one. The first one came close. It was within 100 million of beating it. But yeah, the second one made more. Matrix Revolutions rated PG-13.
Right.
Yeah. Not even an R-rated movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good twist.
Yeah.
That movie does not feel PG-13.
Yeah. It also didn't make more than Matrix Reloaded, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. The final answer. How many have you gotten right?
I got 3.
You got 3 already? Okay, so you've already won. This one's. I'm gonna take a point off though, so you have to get this one right.
All right. Pray I do not alter the deal.
The final question: how old is Sarah Connor in the first Terminator film?
Oh gosh.
Is she A, 16, B, 25, C, 19, or D, 69?
Might be the D.
She might be. Possible. Rubbed a lot of lotion.
Man, yeah. Dang, she definitely is not 16. Man, I don't think she looks like she's in her 20s, but I don't think it's 25. I might have to go with, was it C, 19?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
You're correct. She's 19. Isn't that interesting?
She doesn't
Yeah,
look like it.
Right. I'm pretty sure she's older in real life, but yeah,
It's one of those.
she's playing a 19-year-old, which is interesting. Very good. I have a bonus question. I was gonna do this if you didn't get enough, and then I would give this to you as an opportunity to get it.
Right, well,
I'm just gonna give it to you anyway. This is bonus time, everybody.
Yeah, write in the comments what you think your answer is.
Bonus deal. I keep forgetting you have headphones on. There is only one Terminator film that does not mention Kyle Reese. Which is it? This isn't fill in the blank. This is just, which one is it? This is fill in the blank. I'm sorry. This isn't multiple choice.
Yes. Okay.
Which Terminator film does not mention Kyle Reese?
Does not mention Kyle Reese. Okay.
It's not the first one.
Right. Okay.
He's in that one.
It can't be the first. It can't be the fourth because he's in it. Huh. And I think he's talked about in 2.
What scenes he talked about in?
no, wait. Huh. And it can't be 5 because he is Kyle Reese.
You're doing very, very good.
So it's between 2 and 3? What? What? It's 3 then.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter now. You already won. Yes, you're correct. It is Terminator 3. And that makes sense, right? Because that's the only one that Sarah Connor's not in.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So what's John could talk about him, I guess, or Arnold.
But not mentioned?
No, he's not brought up at all. It's the only one where he's not brought up.
Weird.
Yeah, very interesting.
You did a very good job, Kevin. High five.
You win.
Hey.
You win our trophy.
Thanks, man.
You deserve it.
Yeah, man, I knew a lot more than I thought I did.
You did very well. Go ahead and put that up on your mantle. Yeah, very good job. I have some fun facts too. I just wrote these down because I was looking at so many different fun facts to make this trivia show. I wish Danny DeVito was in Terminator Salvation, by the way. That would have made it much better.
I know. I heard that answer. No,
yeah.
I could see him as a doctor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's a doctor in... Isn't he a doctor in... Pregnant movie?
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that.
Me neither. I think isn't he the doctor in that?
What is?
Or am I wrong?
That's not
Junior.
Big?
Junior.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Big is with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, a little different. It's one of those like power words, though. You know.
Yes.
Junior. Big.
It's one of those power words, like junior or big.
Yeah, like one of those movies that's like 1, 2 syllables, so it's like a statement. Right.
While you were saying that, did you realize junior was 2 syllables?
Yeah, 1 to 2 syllables.
1 to 2 syllables, yeah.
3? 3 can also be, I mean, Terminator. Oh, crap. Not that one, but 3. Right? 2.
This is good. Arnold Schwarzenegger showed Terminator 3 to the troops at the former palace of Saddam Hussein.
He did what?
He showed Terminator 3 to the troops at the U.S. troops at the former palace of Saddam Hussein.
Huh.
Just, he wanted to make that place even worse.
Yeah, just stir up more.
A lot of these, by the way, are from IMDb trivia. So some of them I feel like might not even be correct. I don't know.
Huh.
We'll see though. Numerous actors were supposedly in the role for the TX, including Vin Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, and Famke Janssen. This is the Terminator in Terminator 3. So the female Terminator. Could have been Vin Diesel or Shaq.
Other great female choices.
In the original Terminator, though, O.J. Simpson was considered for the Terminator, but the producers feared he was too nice to be taken seriously as a cold-blooded killer.
Right. I had heard somewhere that O.J. Simpson was in talks.
It's ironic, isn't it?
It is.
I'm glad they didn't do that because, I mean, that would have ruined the franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Put a big old stain on it. Robert Patrick, when he's running in Terminator 2, he had to train really hard to reprogram himself to breathe only through his nose while he was running. Very difficult. You see him; he's going so fast running after that dirt bike.
Oh yeah,
and he's breathing only through his nose. It's crazy. Very impressive. It makes it so much more intimidating.
Right? Yeah, those running scenes are great in 2. Like he's going at it, and he's not wanting to stop. You can see it in his face.
Yeah.
Man.
In Terminator 2, Industrial Light and Magic did the computer graphics for the T-1000. They had to grow from 6 artists to 36 to accommodate all of the effects, which ultimately amounted to 3.5 minutes of screen time.
Worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that movie still looks pretty decent. At least like especially certain scenes when he's walking through the bars at the asylum.
Yes, that looks really good. The scene where he had just knifed the husband, John Connor's
Ooh,
stepfather.
yeah,
Then he looks at his hand as it goes back into hand form. I thought that looked really impressive
yeah.
for the time. Yeah. There's some of like, especially the full body stuff when he's running, it looks really janky. Computer animation wasn't up to snuff back then. This was before Toy Story had even come out, you know? So
Wow.
looking at the animation in Toy Story, you know, and how it's a little bit jerky and janky, it's like, yeah, that's kind of just what it was at the time for computer animation. But for the time, it's really impressive. They only use it when they
Yeah.
have to, and whenever they don't have to use it, they don't. You know, when he's got the like kind of claw hands, those are physical. When he's clamped onto the back of the car, at the
Oh,
end when he melts and then reforms, that's all practical. It's cool. They do cool stuff.
yeah.
I love the big thing with Terminator 1 and Terminator 2. We always talk about this. I love the evolution of Sarah's character. How in the first one she is like she's just a normal person. She's a waitress. She's scared. She's being assaulted by this strange man who's telling her that a Terminator from the future is trying to kill her.
Right.
um, but by the end of it, you kind of see her her future character start to take shape, where she's turning into the leader that she needs to be, the person that'll train John Connor, the savior of the resistance. You know, you start to see the echoes of that. You know, she's like she tells Kyle, you know, get up, soldier, you know, stuff like that. She starts to harden even by the end of that movie, and then Terminator 2
Hmm.
just perfectly. What is it? Must be 12 years. I think John is 12 in that movie, so 12 years later, she's such a badass in that movie. She's changed so much. She's kind of gone a little bit crazy from this just constant fear of Judgment Day.
Right.
Um, I love that evolution of her character so much.
Yeah, as do I. They it's all like warranted too. Like you can it's a believable progression,
Right.
that time jump. Um
Time jump helps a lot, I think, too. Yeah.
yeah, and I mean the Star Wars movies do that too.
Yeah, they do it really well. Actually, yeah, that's a great comparison. Um, yeah, I love how it starts out Terminator 2 and we see her, she's like in an asylum. And she's you know, she's doing pull-ups. It's like, "Oh man, dude, she got ripped for that movie. She looks great." Um, yeah, her acting is even better in the second one, I feel. If you had so yeah, I think we would both put Terminator 2 above the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But having rewatched them both recently, Terminator 1 is fantastic
It
still,
is.
dude. It's a lot closer to Terminator 2 than I might have even thought previously. I really, really like the first one. Seeing Arnie as the bad guy he's really good in that role as a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very intimidating. He's more jacked than I've ever seen him too
Yeah.
in that first one. I love the use of practical effects in both movies. 1992 was Terminator 2, so you still see they were you start to see the influx of computer generation in that decade, and they only use it when they have to. That scene where they have the helicopter going under that overpass, they actually did that. And apparently it was super dangerous, but Cameron wanted it done, and it pays off.
It looks amazing.
That whole helicopter chase is so cool, and you just don't get that same feeling with a computer generated image.
No,
It pays off.
it does.
It's warranted for sure.
Because there were other parts in that scene where I could tell that it was like there was some use of like green screen or
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
When he's on the
But
truck, especially, I think.
right when
Yeah.
he's like leaning out to shoot
Mhm.
sometimes. But yeah, that helicopter scene, there's no way they could have done
No,
that
yeah.
with the technology that they had.
I think we were guessing too while we were doing it because it just looks so dangerous.
It
It,
is.
it is. It's very
It's
dangerous. It's
insane.
insane that they did that, and it looks all the close-up shots of even when the helicopter's ramming the back of it. That looks fantastic too.
Yeah.
It's wild that they were able to do stuff like that back then.
Is my connection too weak? It is. Yeah, ASMR.
with a ring pop.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff. I love how Terminator 1 is more of a horror movie too, compared to Terminator 2. It's like a scary action movie, and then the second one is more comedy action.
Yes. Like, oh my god, everything's just dying. What was that?
What was that? What do you see?
Yeah, so Terminator 1 having Arnie as the bad guy is quite good.
So good.
I feel that's what also makes Terminator 2 so good. Um, like, you know, they've established Arnie as not a good guy, but also you think about it in terms of like an assembly line, he's a version of, or he's a model of a Terminator, right? So
Right.
they're just pumping
There's like
these out.
there's 100 of him, 1,000 even. You know. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, in the first one, I like having Arnie as the bad guy. Like the practical effects, even though the use of them can look a little jank in the first one.
Yeah. That
It's still really neat though that
it's
they're
cool. A lot of the stuff at the end is just it looks really bad. It's stop
yeah
motion and it's just yeah. Whenever they're using the physical model, I think it was Stan Winston's team that did that. Whenever they're using the physical model as a puppet, it looks great. It looks so good. And then whenever they have to do a wider shot of him, you know, walking or what have you, and they have to do the stop motion, it just looks so bad. And it
yeah
sucks because that I love that finale. I think it's great.
yeah it's intense.
It's super intense. It starts the whole trend too of you think uh you see this in like horror movies with Halloween or Friday the 13th. You think you killed the monster and then he keeps coming back. Yeah, repeatedly. They burn him, they explode him, they think it's over, and then you see someone in the background pop up. He's alive still. They go in the warehouse, they blow him up again. Oh, it's finally over. Nope, he's crawling.
Yeah,
He won't stop.
and then she has to
Gotta,
press him down.
gotta smash him. Yep, you terminated fucker.
Yeah, damn,
It's good stuff.
fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
And then I also like too when she compresses him, right? His arm is like hanging out, like
Right.
trying to grab her.
Right.
So
That's how they explain in the second one.
movie,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I wonder if that was planned or if it's just that just kind of worked out.
yeah.
It probably just worked out, but it's still that's
I like that touch.
it's
That's
there.
good.
There's really good continuity between the two films for
Yeah,
sure. And you're right. Making him the bad guy in the first one makes it so much more kind of satisfying in the second one when that hallway scene, the T1000 and the T800, they're both walking
Oh,
at each
yeah.
other. It's slow motion. John is, you know, he's freaking out, and then whips out the gun. He's get down. It's like, oh, what?
Yeah. Such a good moment.
It's so good. If you, I every time I try to put my headspace in of just like watching it as someone who did not know the twist,
right.
which sucks because they spoiled it in the trailer apparently.
Same thing with even Genesis, right? They show
Genesis, they show John, they show him in the poster too, which is really just
man,
awful.
like that.
Terminator Salvation spoils that the main character's part Terminator. It's crazy how bad of a rap that the Terminator films have at spoiling everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too bad.
Since Terminator 2, they just can't help themselves.
Like, there's a way you can edit these trailers to make it seem like not, or to make the audience assume something when you watch the movie, you realize, oh, you know, it's something else. Like, what was it?
Well,
Star
that's how
Trek.
the movie sets it up.
Right.
That's how the movie sets it up, that you think the T1000 is the good guy because you know Arnie is the bad guy. T1000 gets introduced. He's wearing a cop uniform even to just that extra
Right.
twinge of, you know, oh, you can trust a policeman. It's really good. There's hints though. There's hints leading up that he's not quite, when he talks, it's like he's nice, but he's like, oh, there's something kind of off about him.
Yeah.
You pointed that out. He's like, yeah, he does such a good job at coming off as just a little bit off.
Yeah, hopefully Dark Fate comes through with some stuff.
Yeah, that's
I'm I'm not incredibly optimistic, but
We're gonna be watching it, and we will review it.
yes,
We shall see.
I hope my expectations are exceeded.
They're pretty low, so
Yeah,
there's, you know,
they are low.
there's a
Um,
chance.
Even if they're met, I'll still be like, okay, but like that's not
Yeah, that's not where I
that's not
want it
what
to
I
be.
want. That's not the kind of goal I want to set for
I hope
myself.
my expectations are not met with this movie.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. They just can't get past Terminator 2. You know, that movie set the stage, and then every movie after that, except for Salvation, has been trying to copy that. So we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully, hope for the best. Terminator 1, 2, fantastic movies. I mean, Terminator 2, I think really is the perfect sequel.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's you're taking everything from that first movie, you're building the world, you're elaborating more on the characters, you're developing the characters even more. It benefits from a lot of the base stuff already being established, and that whole switch, man. It's the switch of Arnie from the bad guy to the good guy. It's so good,
It is.
and nothing is better than when he's cocking the gun in the
No.
motorcycle chase. That is so cool.
Yeah. Gosh, that motorcycle chase is crazy. My man.
The motorcycle chase is fantastic. Yeah,
Like,
when the truck drives off the embankment into the sewer, that is so good.
yeah, that's insane.
They
I
don't make
love
them like they used to.
yeah. Even after he blows that truck up, Arnie still has the gun just aimed at it. And then he just like
Because he sees movement.
right.
He sees the tire come out, and then he's like, shoves it in the very convenient pouch for a shotgun in his motorcycle.
Yeah.
In Terminator 1, I love Kyle Reese's how they interpreted that character, because they were not afraid to make him unlikable, kind of. When he first interacts with Sarah, he's like, you need to follow my instructions. You don't talk unless I tell you to. Don't move unless I tell you to, whatever it is. Very like he's super aggressive, you know, and he doesn't come off as super likable. He's not charismatic or anything, you know. But they just play that character so well because you believe it. You believe that he's this character that's super messed up by this world. When he's interacting with the police, he's just telling them the truth. He's not trying to make up a lie, you know?
Right.
He's just telling them, "Yeah, I was sent back in time to stop a Terminator." Obviously, they're not going to believe that. They're going to think he's crazy.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know any better, you know? He's just he's doing whatever he can to save Sarah Connor, or else the future's
right.
done.
I feel that's what like also adds a bit of like comedy in those scenes because like
They use the therapist to play comedy up against him.
right,
Yeah.
but you also think of it in terms of like if you were the therapist, right?
Right.
And you're in this room and this dude's like, "Listen, I was sent back in time to save Sarah Connor because there's a Terminator coming after her."
Yeah.
That just doesn't.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, all right, man.
He starts screaming. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
I
but
love it.
He's just like, you think of it from Kyle's perspective. He's like, the world is screwed if I
Right.
don't like save her. He's coming.
Yeah. That whole scene too, where he goes through and just shoots everyone in the police station, is so good.
Yeah.
I think too with the second one, they amp up the comedy quite a bit. From the first one, there is some comedy in the first one for sure. There's some pretty funny moments, but
Yeah.
it's played up a lot more in the second one. But it's pretty good. It's at appropriate times. It's as funny as it needs to be, and
Right.
it doesn't overstay its welcome.
Man, like the comedy in 2 I feel works really well too because I feel there's quite a portion of it that's between John and the Terminator,
Mhm.
but it's also like this the Terminator's becoming somewhat of a father figure to John.
Yeah, which
And it's
so
insane.
that's so crazy. That's such a cool route to take that. Um, that this machine that was trying to kill Sarah, his mother in the last movie, is now in some perverse way a father figure to him. That's so good. I love
right?
that.
And it's like
They
man
play
and
it
machine,
so well.
you
Yeah.
know, working together.
Fighting crime,
Yeah, man.
buddy cop style.
Listen, when you blow someone away, you say "hasta la vista," and then he learns.
Weird, yeah. I love the learning stuff too. That's great.
Yeah,
He picks up that baby. Is just like looking at it. Really good humor moments like that when John tells him not to kill anyone. shoots the cop in both his kneecaps.
He lived.
Paralyzes him for life.
He'll live.
He'll live, yeah. Even with the T-1000, there's that moment when he walks up to the cop with the bike and he's like, "Say, that's a nice bike," and then just hard cut to the next scene. You already know that guy's dead.
Because he's on it in the next scene.
Right. Wearing his helmet, very, very good. He likes safety. I appreciate that. That great scene where he could just go up to the second level. He could walk up the stairs and then jump to that helicopter to do that. But no, he drives the motorcycle up the stairs and then drives the motorcycle out the window to jump onto the helicopter. That movie is nonstop action and I love it.
Gosh, yeah. And he's just, after he forms, he turns, just get out.
That guy doesn't wait a second. He is gone. He doesn't wait a second to drop 20 feet and break his legs.
Wow. Yeah, those are some good movies.
Yeah. Sarah
going after Dyson.
I was just gonna say that. Sarah going after Dyson is so intense. It's really good.
She just straight up leaves, and then John pieces it together. And
No fate but what we make. She's gonna blow him away. I'm sorry. His voice cracks.
Yeah.
His voice was dubbed over for almost the entire movie because he was going through puberty during the film. So his voice audibly changed throughout the film, so they just ADR'd it after the fact.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not very good for a lot of it.
No. But
I like that character though. He's not a great actor, but he does good enough.
He gets the job done.
He gets the job done, yeah. That freaking I love how they use Sarah's Linda Hamilton's twin sister for 2 scenes.
Oh yeah.
The dream scene where the whole city gets blown away, I love that effect. I think that looks so cool. They're using miniatures. And then she's still hanging on right to the fence as her skeleton gets blown away. She's still hanging on. It's like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that scene where she's looking at herself playing with John. And I think they used her sister in that scene because she wasn't quite as buff as Linda Hamilton had gotten. And she's playing a younger version of herself in that scene, yeah.
That makes sense.
And then later in the movie, she plays the T-1000 as well. Turned into Sarah. That finale is so cool. One of my favorite parts of it is when the T-1000's driving the liquid nitrogen truck and Arnie jumps off the back of the truck they're driving, jumps on the hood, and just in one smooth motion pulls out a gun and starts just blasting the guy away. It's so effective, and it's like, oh my gosh, that is so satisfying. There's so much action in this movie that's just like, this is so satisfying to watch. It's so perfect. It's not boring.
No.
This is not a boring movie at all. It flows so well.
And what I feel also makes those action scenes so good is like there's all this buildup in between too. Like whenever they're taking a moment to rest, that Terminator's still coming after them.
Yeah.
Right. So like even when they're having downtime, you don't know when he's gonna be there or what he's doing to try and find him.
They build up tension really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that there's that one scene where they sleep at the gas station and it shows the T-800 just watching over them all night. That's a great, I love that transition. It's so good. He's just standing there and then it goes from night to day all of a sudden. Or day, night to day. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. If Dark Fate can take any of that magic, man, from these movies,
I want it.
I want it so bad. I want a good Terminator movie so bad. I said Terminator Salvation, right? I think that's the best of the 3 for me. It's still not very good. It's at best it's a 6, but I'd probably even put it at 5.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We will.
It's coming up next week. It's next Thursday night. We're gonna see it.
Yeah. This is
this
officially the final movie?
I think I could be wrong, but I think this is supposed to be the start of a trilogy. I believe so. We'll see. The last 2 movies were also supposed to be the start of a trilogy. So if this doesn't work out, it will be the 3rd movie to fail to start a trilogy, which is ironic because that in itself is a trilogy of failures.
Funny how life works sometimes, isn't it?
Thank you for listening and for the very first time watching the Tall King. We're going to be doing at least something every week. Next week, we're going to be doing a review of Terminator Dark Fate. Any week that we don't review a movie, we will be doing something in a podcast format like this. Go ahead and follow us on YouTube. Like us on... We are on YouTube. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Stitcher, and we are on... We're on one more. We're on
that free database.
Right? No, not anymore. Here, wait. Let me do it one more go. Okay. What is it? It's we're on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. That was the third one. We are on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. Find us on any of those places. Now we're going to be visual, though. That's so cool, isn't it? You can watch us.
Yeah.
We're going to make use of this so well.
So,
we have the TV in the background.
Right.
We have little ring pops on. We have a crown.
We also got trophies and
we got guys.
We got a hand.
If you were just listening, you wouldn't have even known. You wouldn't have even known.
But now you do. That we are a royalty.
All right.
So, man, our tagline actually makes sense now, right?
What was our tagline?
Thank you for looking at the Tall King with your ears.
And now your eyes for the very first time.
I mean, well, looking, you know. It's a transitionary verb. It's a versatile verb. Thank you for looking at the Tall King with your ears. Okay, goodbye.